Many companies understand the importance of learning in today's ever-changing work environment. As a result, they value training and development now more than ever before. Some of these organizations are so serious about learning that we call them learning organizations. Let's explore some of their characteristics in this video. Although there is no official club for learning organizations, they do share a set of common attributes. They are hyper-focused on learning, not only at the individual level, but also at the group and the organizational levels. For this reason, they tend to have a greater capacity to learn and adapt than other organizations. Let me ask you a question. Would you say that you love to learn? If you do, we can say that you value learning. It is something that is important to you. It is something that you not only enjoy, but it's something that you want to do. You value it. Learning organizations also value learning, so much so that this value is embedded in all aspects of the organization, in all departments and in all functions. What this means is that training is encouraged to happen anywhere, anytime, not just in a formal training situation. Leaders in learning organizations understand that training is just one option. There are multiple ways to enhance human capital, and all of those strategies need to be integrated in order to have the greatest impact and the greatest return. Not only do employees seek out new information and learn it, sometimes on their own, they are also expected to share that new information with their colleagues and others at the organization. By encouraging learning at all levels and by facilitating the sharing of that information, learning organizations can increase their capacity to adjust to the business environment. When you work for a learning organization like Apple or Walt Disney, one of the first things you may notice is that the culture is extremely supportive of learning. Employees feel comfortable sharing their ideas and their concerns. They also feel comfortable asking questions and trying new things. In a learning organization, it is okay to make a mistake, as long as you can admit it. And as long as you can learn something from it, mistakes are okay. They are understood to be part of the process, part of running a business. In a learning organization, learning happens not only at the individual level, but also at the group and the organizational level. Similar to a brainstorming session, learning organizations encourage multiple perspectives. They encourage their employees to share any and all ideas. No idea is a silly idea because we can learn from just about anything. We can learn from success, we can learn from failure, and we can try to make something from the feedback that our employees give us. There are a number of learning processes and principles that are characteristic of learning organizations. Employees are free to create, share, and apply new knowledge. They are asked to keep up with the latest trends in the industry and share that knowledge with their colleagues and their own managers and leaders. These companies also tend to invest heavily in technology and tools that allow employees to create and share new information. Here at Maryville University, we use Canvas. This is an example of just one of the many tools that are available to help people share the kind of information that they want to share. Employees, managers, and other decision makers are taught how to use these tools. They are encouraged to use them. And in some instances, they may be part of the employees' actual job descriptions. Their performance reviews may include measures of the extent to which they use the learning management, the knowledge management tools. You can see in the last bullet point that one of the other things that learning organizations often do is require employees to establish their own development plans, and then they are actually expected to follow through with those plans and reach the goals that they set for themselves. In other companies, development plans are more of an optional part of the job. In learning organizations, it is expected, it is encouraged, and it is supported. One of the greatest barriers to creating a culture of learning is resistance from employees, especially when those employees are the managers and top leaders. If they don't support learning, if they don't reinforce learning on a regular basis, then learning is less likely to occur. There are a number of strategies that managers can use to reinforce learning. First and foremost, they have to encourage employees to have conversations, to talk to one another, to share ideas. When employees interact with one another, they tend to feel more comfortable around one another and therefore are more likely to not only share the good, but also share maybe some of the bad, some of the things that may need to be changed, or maybe they share some of their concerns about a new idea, a new product, a new service. Dialogue and debate are both very important to creativity, innovation, and learning. I mentioned earlier that employees at Walt Disney feel comfortable expressing their new ideas. Managers are a big part of the success at Walt Disney. They aren't afraid to listen to employees' concerns and their feedback about their jobs or the manager's performance. Managers should also consider multiple viewpoints by collecting information from a variety of sources. They should talk to multiple employees. They should talk to other managers. They should talk to their own supervisors, collect information from customers, suppliers, distributors, and other stakeholders in the organization in order to figure out what the training needs are, what the problem really is, and potentially how to solve it. As we know from this first module, learning can occur in formal training situations and in informal settings. In learning organizations, managers encourage learning to happen in both settings. They take the time to learn from some of the situations that are occurring in the workplace. For instance, when a problem arises and the team attempts to solve it, managers in learning organizations will take the time to conduct what we call an after action review and try to learn from the procedures, the policies, the actions they took to solve the problem. Managers should also be aware of the evidence-based learning principles that we've identified over the last few decades studying learning in the work environment. We know things about how adults learn at work. Managers would do well for themselves and for their teams to better understand how different people learn new information and skills. Just as a group level after action review is important in a learning environment, so is measuring individual and organizational performance and then reviewing that performance in an effort to identify ways that we and the organization can improve. Managers who reward learning tend to send a very strong message to their employees that learning is important. In some organizations, managers don't have the funds to buy gifts and prizes and provide bonuses for going to training. But those are not the only types of rewards that managers can use. A simple thank you for going to training, or what did you learn from training today? Conversations about the training can be rewarding in and of themselves because you, as the manager, are taking time to get to know your employee and learn more about them. That can be rewarding for many employees. Saying thank you, showing appreciation, social recognition is another way of rewarding learning. Some organizations, like Maryville University, will provide different badges for our email signatures when we've completed certain types of training. One of the most important things managers can do to ensure that their employees want to learn and then actually learn is to make sure that they have all of the resources that they need to learn. This includes technology, equipment, time, space, and these managers do whatever they can to remove obstacles that stand in the employee's way. The bottom line of this video is that in order for learning to occur at the individual level, at the group level, at the organizational level, the work environment has to be supportive of learning. There are a number of ways that we can do this, and managers and other decision makers play a big role in ensuring that our organizations have a culture of learning.